Today, we're jumping into a really short but wow, incredibly powerful poem by Adrienne Rich called Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. It's this amazing study in contrast, putting a life filled with rules and fear right up against the wild, untamed freedom you can find in art. Okay, let's get into it. So, first, just take a look at this. Think about the energy, the confidence, the absolute lack of fear in a creature like this. Now imagine you could create something that bold, that certain with your own two hands. And there's the catch. Imagine you're the one who made that fearless tiger, but your own life is completely ruled by fear. This right here, this is the heartbreaking conflict at the very center of the poem we're about to explore. So, the poet, Adrienne Rich, was a really important voice in the contemporary women's movement. A lot of her work pushed back against social constraints. And this poem, Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, takes a direct look at the suffocating reality a woman can face inside a marriage. The whole poem is really built on this one brilliant, sharp contrast. On one side, you've got this vibrant, free world that's being stitched into a tapestry, and on the other, you have the grim, controlled reality of the person who's actually making it. All right, so let's start with the art itself. Let's look really closely at the world Aunt Jennifer is creating, stitch by stitch. Right away, the poem just hits you with this incredible color and movement. They don't just walk, they prance. That word is so full of life. And they aren't just animals, they're denizens, like they truly belong to this brilliant world of green. And their color is this bright topaz. What's so fascinating is the specific language Rich uses for these tigers. Words like prance, sleek, and chivalric certainty. I mean, chivalric. That suggests this noble, confident, almost knightly sense of honor. These tigers are literally everything their creator's not. Powerful, graceful, and totally sure of themselves. And this is the detail that says it all. In the world she's creating, there are men. But the tigers, they couldn't care less. They are not afraid. This is such a stark contrast to Aunt Jennifer's own life, and it's absolutely packed with meaning. Okay, so now let's pull back. We're moving from the fearless art to the fearful artist. The focus shifts from that vibrant tapestry to the woman making it, and, well, the entire mood changes. Talk about a contrast to the confident prancing of the tigers, right? Her fingers don't move with purpose. They flutter. It's a word that just screams nervousness, weakness, anxiety. Even something as simple as pulling a needle through wool is a real struggle for her. But the poem doesn't just leave us wondering where all this fear and weakness comes from. Nope. It points to a very specific symbol, something it calls a massive weight. And here it is. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band isn't just about a heavy piece of metal. It's the crushing, emotional weight of her whole marriage. A wedding ring, which is supposed to be a symbol of a partnership, has become a symbol of control, of all the ordeals that have completely mastered her. The very last stanza of the poem jumps forward in time. It looks ahead to what happens after Aunt Jennifer is gone. And this is where the poem lands its most powerful and honestly, its most heartbreaking punch. I mean, what a devastating line. It's telling us that even in death, she doesn't get to escape. Her hands, the very same hands that made those fearless tigers, will still be terrified. And that ring, that symbol of her oppression, it's still going to be there, like a permanent mark of the life that controlled her. But here's the thing. While Aunt Jennifer herself is trapped, her art isn't. The poem draws this final, sharp line between the mortal, suffering artist and her immortal, fearless creation. So after all that, what are we supposed to take away from this? Why does this short poem, written decades ago, still hit so hard today? Through her art, Aunt Jennifer was able to build a world where she could be everything she couldn't be in her real life. Brave, free, powerful. Her art became her escape hatch, this quiet little act of rebellion against a life that was trying to smother her spirit. And in the end, that's her legacy. It's not the fear, it's not the suffering, it's the tigers, they're what's left. While her terrified hands will lie still forever, the life she poured into that panel will just keep going, forever prancing, proud, and unafraid. And that kind of leaves us with this one last thought to chew on. Aunt Jennifer's story is this powerful reminder that the things we make, whether it's a painting, a story, a business, whatever, can sometimes tell a truer story about who we really are.
They can carry a spirit that lasts long after we're gone. So what story will the things you create tell?